if I get a tattoo and it just squishes, I'll just have to have that shit retouched again.
You kind of have to get it retouched every now and then anyway, like regardless of what happens.
I'm gonna tattoo your face onto my face.
You want to become me?
I'm going to become.
Finn IRL. Lots of fatal
Up
theme.
fatal frame scheme. Have fun. Let's hug the doggy chair. I love you.
Have fun getting spooked.
I'm cheering on you. Yeah.
Voice mod been asleep too long. There we go. Voice mod been asleep too long. There we go. Voice mod been asleep too long. There we go. Right, so we just finished the sixth. Which puts us halfway there. Make sure we grab that whilst we can. Apply. And confirm. I've got a decent amount of film. I don't think we need anything more than that. Even with the really painful episode yesterday, we still had leftover. Yuri managed to rescue Miyu from the Shrine of the Ephemeral, but obtained no new information about Ahsoka. The only clues she has are a photograph found in the camera obscura and the vision she saw when she touched Ahsoka's charm. These lead Yuri to believe Ahsoka is somewhere upstream. Clinging to this last hope of finding her friend, Yuri heads towards the Lake of the Departed, lurking on Mount Hikami's summit. I found Miyu, but made no progress finding Ahsoka. This is all I have to go on. This photo and the vision I saw when I touched the charm. She was standing in water. There's a lake at the summit called the Lake of the Departed. She might be there. So you're going this way. Wasn't quite quick enough for that one. Yep, back into the ephemeral thing we go. Took on a side road. Ah, so you did walk off that way. But I saw a shiny. Not that I need the shiny. It is just more tape. Or film. Same thing. Okay, so we've already had one. At least they waited more than 5 minutes this time. We've not been here before, have we? Nope, so no map yet. Yeah, I'm very much not liking the fact that this definitely seems like an area where they're going to spawn ghosts on us at some point. Yeah, cramped area, mobility reduction. Definitely seems like a place they're going to spawn them at some point on us. Get our 3 points. Oh, and it's a cutscene. Generally, so fairly easy to get rid of. If just a bit annoying. So they're in another area of this place that I'm assuming we'd have to traverse a maze to get. Don't really need any more herbal meds. If anything, I'm only interested in the lore pieces. Oh, and these aren't even. Yeah, and that's just film on that side, so again, not really that fussed going for that completion. But lore I will pick up. Hisoka's journal. Beyond the Forbidden Valley is the sacred ground at the summit, the Twilight Peak, and the Lake of the Departed. If she has the ability, it's possible she was led there. Or perhaps I'm the one being called to that place. I missed one of them. Let's see, creepy pinwheels. We've had creepy dolls. Yes, it definitely wants us to go that way. Many white cloths tied to the tree flutter in the wind. Perhaps they're a reward. Okay, let's go back to the place we're meant to go. There was nothing worthwhile. Oh, come on. That was a creepy picture. Oh, we do have... Oh, it is tempting. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Because Ren's camera just is outright better anyway, just because of the 4-shot single one you can do. Oh, that's not quite as good as what it looked like on the screen. Shame. Is there anything down here? Probably not. There's probably just more ghost. Nope, not seeing any shiny. Well, look, it's our friend.
You shall become a pillar as well.
Oh, really? Oh, hey Marla. Thanks for the raid. Yeah, you're definitely getting mad here because the game is at the point where it's starting to throw every ghost at us that it can. Why are you underground? Oh, come on, there you are. You're giving me Witch of Hemlock vibes from Bloodborne. Stop teleporting, please. There's too many of these orbs around. What were you playing before you decided to come here? Anything fun? I didn't know you did a podcast. Food is a good thing to ramble about. Whew. What did she drop for us? A black diary. We must forge more pillars. The great pillar is collapsing. The black water will overflow. The black water must be contained before the great pillar melts away. And another journal. I became a maiden after I survived the flood. I was half dead when I awoke, alone among the corpses. I could see things that no one else could see. That was my calling. I purified my body, and when I arrived at the mountain, I was overwhelmed with a cacophony of voices. The talking trees, the whispering stones, the weeping water. Echoes of past prayers piled up one on top of each other. Time slowed to a crawl, and I could see each individual raindrop that fell. The veins on every leaf stood out vividly. Images of death flashed in front of me. I could smell the choking stench of death. Yet Cursed is pretty much every single Fatal Frame game, to be honest. I was told I would need more training. I wanted to flee as soon as I arrived, but I had no home to run to. No matter where I go, it will be the same. In the end, I will be alone. We got the blow lens. Deals twice normal damage to target. How is that different from the other one we have that does that to targets? Yeah, for those who have never played a Fatal Frame game, you tend to play as a young Japanese woman, because how else are you going to make it scary? Who stumbles across something that probably shouldn't be stumbled across by anyone. In this one, there is a mountain where there was I don't want to use the word cult, basically small sect of shrine maidens that were devoted towards water. They believe that the soul, when you die, returns to the water. And then the shrine maidens would be looking after this black water up on top of the mountain and purifying it so that everyone could go into the good water. And then somewhere along the lines, there was a guy who fell in love with one of the shrine maidens before she became a maiden. She told him, sorry, I've got to go and be a maiden now. I can't marry you. He went a little bit insane and murdered everyone. All of the shrine maidens, he just killed them all, gouged out their eyes, threw them in the water. Which of course means they're all haunting the place now. And it means that because it's a big place of death now, anyone who has a tendency towards thinking about death is drawn to this mountain. The character we're playing as is someone who's looking. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. The girl we're playing as is looking for her mentor who disappeared up here to investigate some stuff. We've already found a couple of missing girls who have ended up disappearing somewhere else. And the main, if you hadn't noticed about it, the main point of the game is you fight with a camera. The camera obscura, which can damage ghosts. It lets you see things that aren't there and damage them. We're about just over halfway through the game. And the game is starting to get to a point where I'm unsure if I'm happy of the direction it's going, because it is starting to do less. Yeah, you can. There are upgrades for it. Look, camera. There's different types of film to use. Basically, I think someone who I used to watch like 10 years ago, who played the second of these, Crimson Butterfly, basically named them like pistol film, shotgun film, rocket launcher film, because all they are is just a different type of damage. Obviously, the more damage it does, the rarer it is to find. There's lenses you can pick up, which do different things. So this one deals a lot of damage to targets based on a level. This one does stun. We've got one that slows them down, stuns, crush, restore, that gives you some health back. We'll put that blow lens in that we just got, just in case it's actually any good. These are just like general, I think you just pick them up as per the game, just running through it. So this one just lets you take pictures with different lenses. It lets you lock onto an enemy and lets you evade. You don't really upgrade those, you just pick them up as you go through the game. And then you've got the enhancements that attack distance, reload speed, damage. The absorption is when you take a photo, you will absorb some of the essence, which you can then use on those lenses to actually, you know, do whatever the thing is that they do. So in the case of the crush lens, it will do 2.5 times damage whenever you have enough sort of spiritual essence, I guess, to use it, and you use the button. The other character that we play as, instead of having that, he has the option of taking 4 photos very quickly, just by the press of a button. Very nice, but you don't get to play him very much. I think we've played him for one of the 6 chapters so far.
Hisoka!
I'm glad you noticed her, because I didn't. And this is a really bad idea, going into the deep water around a bunch of water maidens.
Hisoka! Hisoka!
Yeah, this is one of those games I've meaning to play for like a good sort of 5 or 6 years. I think it came out 2007, 2008, possibly earlier. I mean to play it for a while, but then I was browsing Steam and saw they've got a new one coming out in March. And with Steam sale being on, I figured, why not grab this now, play through it. If I'm still into the series, I'll know whether or not to pick up the one when it comes out in March. Yeah, this is one of the evil maidens. Oh, I just realised my mouse is on screen. But there is one big thing that is, you can just take photos like this, will just do damage. Oh no, it won't do damage. Oh no, are we in one of those sections where we can't actually fight her? Do we have to just try and escape the fog? Is that what we're having to do? Okay. So yeah, she was the big Shrine Maiden. I've mentioned before, she's leaving it away from the mountain right now. Yeah, I keep telling you this every time you leave the mountain. That you should never come back. But she keeps coming back. Yuri followed Hisoka's trace to the shore of the lake, where it vanished into the mist. In her place, a woman appeared, the same dark presence seen in Hisoka's photograph. Unable to inflict any damage with the camera obscura, Yuri's only option was to run. Yuri recalled the outline of a large torii gate over the misty lake. Could that be where Hisoka was heading? That was a really quick, considering the last level we played was like an hour and 45 minutes. The fact this one took 21 is ridiculous. I was expecting that one to be a long one. Okay, I might not have to do like 3 more streams of this after all. It might only be 2, depending on the rest of them. Miyu and Yuri sleep after returning from Marakami. Learning Haruka has been taken by a ghost, Ren and Rui keep a watchful eye to prevent it happening again. Oh, we're actually playing as Ren this time. That's good. So how much of it will be at the antique store where they all seem to congregate, or how much is at the mountain, we will find out. When Yuri returns from Mount Akami's summit, she quickly collapses from exhaustion. Meanwhile, Miyu is also in an unnaturally deep slumber. Worried that some unwanted visitors may be on their way, Ren and his assistant Rui decide to watch over the girls through the shop's surveillance system.
The surveillance cameras seem to be working.
Now we can see if anything comes to pay us a visit.
And if anyone can help us decide whether Rui is a guy or a girl, that would be wonderful. We're like 7 hours into the game and we haven't come to a definitive idea yet.
Huh?
They're very androgynous. We can't tell. It could be girl with short hair. It could be guy. I've been assuming guy for most of it, but someone in chat yesterday brought up the question and it's been bothering us ever since.
What's happening? Huh? Rui, are you alright?
I'm fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some of them you just can't tell. It doesn't make any difference to the game, obviously, but it will be nice to know whether I'm going to be calling him a he or she a she for the rest of the game, because I feel bad not knowing. So Rui seems to be unconscious or maybe just asleep. I wonder what the rumbling was. Something must have happened on the mountain. Yui and Miyu have also been affected by the noise. I should make sure they're okay. Haruka, the girl you saved, was led away by the ghost of a girl who killed herself. Something might have come again. I need to check the camera feeds and see if they're okay. Surveillance camera will switch between them automatically. So that's us. Okay, so Yuri was okay. Both seem fine. Look into the history, have some books about it around here somewhere. Local customs. Mikomori. In the area around Mount Okami, there's a custom of receiving water from the mountain. The people call it Mikomori, and it is placed in casks to bring into their homes to be used for special ceremonies. It's used to give a newborn its first bath, or to cleanse the bodies of the dead. This stems from the belief that the soul comes from the water and returns to it in death. Another use for this water is known as the cry of the mountain. According to an old woman in the village, there is a saying: when Hikami lets out a cry, one must wash in Mikomori. When Mount Okami cries out, or rumbles, one ritually immerses oneself or otherwise wets oneself with the water. The custom likely comes from the mountain's sound being a bad omen, and they use the pure water as a sort of ward. But when the water dries, your daughters may be gone. Do not go in search when the mountain is awake. This must refer to girls being taken to the mountain after the water has worn off, an explanation for the number of girls going missing in the area. There's a photography, some more local anecdotes. The Mikomori region has many anecdotes regarding the act of photographing the dead. Many are simple superstitions, but some allow us a glimpse into the customs of another time. These stories will show both great understanding and great fear. Vanishing. A man showed a photograph to a friend. The picture showed the faint silhouette of a person. Upon seeing the silhouette, the man cried out and ran, leaving the photo where it was. Each time the man looked at the photo, the silhouette grew more and more distinct. It was his friend. It said that his friend disappeared after that. The photo bride. A local fool suddenly declared that he had married. The village threw a celebration, but no one had seen the bride. Someone went to the man's house and could hear the sounds of a woman talking within. However, looking inside, he saw only the man from behind and no sign of the woman. Days pass and the man hasn't left his house, so one of the villagers went to check on him. There was no one left in the house, only an old photograph left behind. In the photo was a bride hiding her face, and the missing man was at her side. The man who saw the photo said the bride appeared to be smiling. We need to investigate Mount Okami and find out what's going on. A lot is going on. Okay, so Yuri's still there. Hang on a minute. Why is there a ghost downstairs? There was a ghost at the front door. Of course, I don't like the idea now that we're going to look at the camera and both the girls are going to have disappeared. And they're going to have snuck out the back entrance. Okay, so you're walking through the house. Right, where was the upstairs? Yuri's room should be this one here. She hasn't had time to disappear, technically, but this is Ghost Game, so she could have just disappeared completely. Wow, I was definitely not expecting to have to fight in the antique shop. Yeah, I'm going to look away for that kind of thing that she does, because it could be unpleasant for some people. Yeah, that's unfortunately what the maidens seem to do. They want people to end. We saw it in, I think, the second chapter. We managed to actually find the girl we were looking for, and just at the end of it, she got possessed, and yeah. The maidens basically want people to die so that they can be taken into the water and become more of the pillars that were mentioned by the creepy granny in the previous episode. And the pillars are basically just there to keep the black water from spilling out and cursing the rest of the mountain. Yuri's notebook. When my heart gets weak, I can't even breathe. It takes all my strength just to breathe. All I can do is take the breath and then hope to take another. I grow exhausted and spend all my strength just to live. I'm aware of death and I see. People whispering, people with broken faces, people with ruined bodies, people who stare at me from bloody sockets, people crying endlessly. All I can do is close my eyes, cover my ears and wait for the moment to pass. They're always watching me. They say I don't belong here. It should have gotten better. I should have gotten better. Wow, you really want poor Yuri, don't you? Oh good, you were just a regular photo, not an actual attack. Yeah, Yuri is not so much psychic. I think she's probably, out of all the terms, it's probably close to like psychometry, where she can, if she touches things, she can see flashes and stuff like that. That's at least what I've gathered so far. It could be more than that, but so far it just seems to be she can see visions when she touches people or things. Yeah, having a nightmare, but it's okay. Man in hallway. I feel like that means we need to quickly go and check on Haruka. Might be too late, but usually visions of the past. Like she seems to see memories of that person. It's like you've not seen it yet, but usually when you kill a major ghost, the ghost kind of sort of hovers there on the floor for a while, and you can touch them, and then you'll get a little flashback of what happened in their life when they were still around, which kind of is how the story's been piecing together, seeing what happened to the maidens, other than obviously picking up notes and reading them. Yeah, she's still lying there, she's fine. Well, she probably won't be fine when we cycle around to her again on the cameras. Oh, well, she's awake. Hang on. That's the wrong person. That's the person that disappeared. Game hasn't told me anything's off yet, which is concerning me, because we just saw her walking down the corridor. I saw you trying to get into that room. Spooky ghost. Everything doesn't seem normal, Ren. You just saw the hand disappearing off the screen. You saw the hand disappear into that wall, Ren. I do not trust it now, because we know there's a ghost there. He's having a nightmare, otherwise okay. If you say so. I feel like the next time we look, she's going to have gone off to the mountain again. Yeah, one of the main things that seems to be recurring is that there's always something that tries to lure the people to the mountain. Sometimes it's... I mean, Haruka originally was looking... She just disappeared up into the mountain because she was looking for something. She's just fascinated by death. She survived the group self-end with Fuyuhi and 3 other girls. Fuyuhi sent us to look for her and came with us. She's the one that ended up getting possessed and ending herself. We managed to get Haruka back, but now Fuyuhi's ghost keeps coming back to try and drag Haruka back to the mountain to finish the whole thing, so that all 5 of them can be together again in death. Ren, this guy, one of his friends, was apparently meant to go marry one of the maidens. So one of the maidens had kind of attracted him to the mountain to marry her. I don't think we've managed to find that guy yet. So it may be too late for him, I don't know. Ruhi, unfortunately, almost jumped off a building at the beckoning of a shrine maiden. It's just the fact that we were there to stop him, which is... That was an interesting one. Which is the reason why I'm assuming they're in the same state of unconsciousness that Yuri and the other one are in, because they've all been affected by the maiden. Just like that. Leave me alone. So we're not even going to attempt to see if Rue's okay. Okay. You'd think seeing ghosts walking around would be some kind of cause for alarm, but it seems that Ren's just too cool and collected for that. There's 2 more in the antique shop downstairs. Do believe this place might be a tad haunted now. I think a lot of the ghosts have followed us all back to this place, considering how often we've been to the mountain and back. They know where we live now. I mean, just going by the game, I know at some point at least one of the girls is going to disappear back off to the mountain. And that's one of them down. Quickly touch him, get some free points. Even though he can't see any visions. We did see another one, didn't we? But this is actually a weird chapter because so far all the spooky stuff has happened away from here. Apart from I think we've seen one ghost. So the fact that now it's all come here. And this place that was meant to be safe is now very much not safe. It's going to be interesting to see how that affects the rest of the game. Yeah, nothing in there. Or is there? I saw 2... Is that things to pick up? It is. It's more folklore stuff. the ghost marriage. Custom of marrying the dead is seen elsewhere too, but the ghost marriage of Mount Akami was unique. Rather than being done to mourn the dead, the ghost marriage seems to have been a part of a ritual in which shrine maidens were sacrificed. Similar traditions join the dead with an imaginary spouse depicted in votive pictures. However, on Mount Akami, it seems living men were brought in to be bound to the maidens. Once on the mountain, the men were not allowed to leave. The ghost marriage brought in outsiders to soothe the soul of the shrine maiden and to strengthen the pillar that she had become. Unable to leave the mountain, the shrine maidens would wait for a man to come and then die with them. Shrine maidens of Mount Akami were tasked with leading pilgrims to death. They were feared, and people thought a maiden's glance stripped away the soul. Tales of ghost shrine maidens are common on Mount Akami. My research into Japanese folklore has led me to believe that an underlying fear of women permeates this very culture. But who were the shrine maidens? As women who immersed themselves in water and led people to their deaths, the shrine maidens of Mount Akami call to mind tales of bewitching sirens. The traditions of Mount Akami come to an end in an incident where the shrine maidens were all murdered. The incident was most likely spurred on by this fear the locals had of the shrine maidens. I have missed where the other... Was she down... Was it a room downstairs? Or was it a room around this corner? It was around this corner. You still okay in here? No spooky ghosts? Kimono. I saw it. There we go. RT to open. Oh, and another book. Mount Akami Sunset. There might be some clue. Mount Akami's name is thought to mean mountain that climbs higher than the sun. Some posit that it was once written in the way that meant the mountain of the sun gods, but that is far from certain. What is certain is that many tales about the sunset still persist to this day. People must only climb the mountain as the sun is setting. It likely comes from a local ceremony where those going to the mountain to greet their deaths would go at sunset, when the netherworld was said to be closest to ours. One mustn't look at the mountain at sunset. You must stay inside when the mountain cries. The dark sun was a god of misfortune and calamity. The setting sun over Mount Akami was said to be an omen of this dark sun drawing people to their doom. As for the cry, tremors are also often seen as a portent of calamity. On Mount Akami, it was thought that it was the water rumbling, and it's said that if you could hear it, you were eligible to become a shrine maiden. Other sources say that locals washed in special water when these tremors happened. We've seen how many books we've found so far. I wonder if we have to find all of the books in the area or something to trigger what happens next, or whether it is literally just going to be just keep looking at the surveillance, wait for things to happen. Of course, with this being a horror game, I am waiting for one of the cameras just to have a ghost face right in the middle of it. Well, there's a shrine maiden. Oh, that's not good. Oh, and Ruby's gone. Must have been pretty quiet for him to get up. Hang on, that goes to the main antique store. So we're going to go this way. Yeah, for Rui to get up, open the door and disappear, Ren must have been very much staring at these CC... Oh. Okay. What's going on here? Bad photo, but still we at least caught it. This is not Yuri's room. This is the building from on the mountain. Again. Why is it now here? Water in the floor, black and murky, hard to see past the surface. As if something was dragged out. Oh, camera, come on. Rui's journal. Mr. Hojo, us, we're Ren Hojo, is captured by the woman in the photograph. He's never been good with women, but he's starting to change. I can't do anything about it. He's changing. I'd like to keep things between us just as they are. The relationship we have now. I like the ambiguity. But he's going to decide sooner or later. I wonder which way he'll choose. So either Rui is a girl, or is a guy and is kind of liking the fact that that Ren is not great with women, because it means they've got more of a chance. And it was all just a dream. Oh, please tell me all three of them have disappeared. And it wasn't just one of them. Oh, that reminds me where the ambiguity over Rui came from. In one of the previous episodes, there was a girl waiting, a ghost girl, as a maiden, was waiting for a guy to turn up to get married to, as per the folklore earlier. And she said this to Rui, and Rui said, "Oh no, I'm not a guy." And we weren't sure if it was going to be a "I'm not a guy, legitimately I'm a girl," or if it was a "Oh silly, I'm not a guy, please don't do ghost things to me," in a sort of "please forget what you're going to do, just leave me alone" bluff. And we weren't sure which it was. Now I remember. Right, so we at least still have Yuri alive, and we have the other girl. So was it just...
I need to go back to Mount Akami.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Can you take me there?
What? No way. It's too dangerous.
Well, if that's your answer, thanks for everything. You don't mind if I borrow this, do you?
Honestly, at this
Maybe I'll be
point,
able to find Yuri.
I'm not sure. At this point, I really want to find out what that was.
Didn't kill her.
Oh, that was the girl I was talking about, the spooky maiden. I think she used to know Ren when Ren was a kid. That's my theory so far. And that's why because she's mentioned that she was waiting for him at one point. And that he'd lost a photo of her. And I'm thinking that maybe he met her as a kid and has completely forgotten about it. Because obviously he was like 7 or 8 at the time. Ren is watching over the sleeping Yuri and Miyu on the surveillance and he passes out. As a dreamer is chasing Rui, when he wakes up, Yuri and Rui are gone. He finds Miyu ready to leave for Mount Akami, taking Yuri's camera with her. The door shuts behind Miyu, leaving a bewildered Ren behind. Hey! Another relatively short one, to be honest. So that was... Normally, I mean, like the last one was an hour and a half. So the 3 from the past couple of days have been like around about an hour each and up to an hour and a half. And these 2 we've got 2 done within 1 hour. What time are we? Ooh, you know what? Why not? See if we can crack out another one. They've been short so far, but no my luck, this one is going to be the long one. Miyu wakes up to discover that Yuri has been taken to Mount Akami. Borrows Yuri's camera and heads to the mountain against Ren's advice. She hopes not only to find Yuri, but some clues to her mother's whereabouts as well. In Touchwood, I would like to have this finished by the end of the weekend. Because I've got a couple of other games that I want to start playing, and I know for well if I stop playing this, I will never get back into it. Use camera, find clues to where the mother is. Yeah, she also has the weird psychometry thing of being able to see traces of where people have been as long as she's got a photo or token of them in some way. Yep, if you can use it, so can I. Hold the shutter button, right trigger to slow down ghosts. Consume spirit power. When you let go of it or run out, all of them will take damage. Okay, so they've tried to have a little bit of a change upon the mechanics for each of the 3. Which I suppose is better than just having the same mechanic for everyone. And obviously, being Fatal Frame, it has costumes. Which is why this girl's in a gothic Lolita dress in the middle of the woods at night, up on the side of a haunted mountain, after riding a cable car that hasn't been maintained for about 25 years. It all makes perfect sense. Okay, so you is going back off in the direction that we were off in before. Yes, you did kill everyone. You killed everyone and stabbed everyone's faces. Getting that last reload upgrade was definitely worth it. Looks like if we're good enough, we can get 6 frames now on a Fatal Frame. We only started with being able to get, I think, 4. Come on, just attack.
I will glance into your soul. Show me. Show me your mind. Your sins. Your secrets. Everything. Everything.
Stop this! Don't look at me! Don't look! She's seen all.
Yep, and so that was the guy that killed all the maidens. And then he turned his blade on himself. Basically, he's the cause of most of the curse at the moment, from what I've gathered. If you just let them all be there, then the weird customs would just still be going on until now. Oh, and in case you're wondering why it takes so long to pick anything up, it's because of the chance you might have a ghost grab your hand. So they've got to make it take time. We've only had it once so far. This game. Well, this episode. Well, not episode, stream, even. God, that's weird. Calling my stream an episode. No, that's not it.
Mother, wait.
Countless gravestones form a hillock. Tiny Jizo statues, none of the gravestones bear writing or carving of any sort. Dense brush blocking the way. I will not be able to get through, but that was definitely my mother. She's been here. Note from Miku, there's a scrap on the floor. Did my mother leave there? I have to go. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. Wonder what's down this way. Now I need to find Yuri. She may know something that will help me. The greatest photographer who, to most people, will probably look at the photos and go, what were you taking a photo of? It just looks like a blur. And you can actually go back and look at the photos that you've taken so far and pick out and save the ones you really like. It's like, wow, that's totally just a person looking at some rocks. Well done. That is a really badly exposed photo. That's just a dude. That's the same dude again. That's just a rock. A blurry tree. A not blurry tree. Another tree. Blurry man. Tree. I think I'm a good tree photographer, if anything. I mean, I think that's another tree. That's another blurry man, and a blurry man, and a blurry man, a blurry man, and another blurry man. So yeah, blurry man and tree. If you're either one of those and you want your photo taken, I've got you. Anything else? I can't help you. Sorry. It was a masterpiece, tree number 2. I still like one that I'm not even sure if it was an accident in animation or if it was on purpose, but yesterday, I think it was yesterday's stream, when we were playing as Ren, we took the camera out and looked at Rui. And then it looked like Rui actually posed for the camera. And we aren't quite sure if it actually was or not, if it was just coincidence. But if they have made it so that if you look at other characters with the camera and they pose for you for the camera, that would be quite fun. You gonna attack? Can you give me the extra damage of catching you in the middle of an attack? Come on. I have got to say, I'm at least a fan of this game adding in a fact you can lock onto the ghost. In Crimson Butterfly Fatal Frame 2, you couldn't. So if you had to keep following with the control pad, which was a real pain at times. I missed the fatal frame on that. Don't know by how much. Right, are we going this way? Going that way. Got items to pick up, but I think they're mostly items that we don't really need. Is that? Yeah, that's just more herbal medicine. I do like that it actually keeps them in the, even when you're not playing as them, it keeps them in the costumes you last chose for them. Quickly get the touch in for the 3 points. Thinking of it, can we upgrade the... Now that we've... It looks... Since we're using the same camera, we are using all our use upgrades as well, which is wonderful. Let's take the damage increase. Okay, so that does 2.5 times damage but takes all of the power. That will do 2 times the damage but can be upgraded. So you can use it twice. Maybe that would actually be worth it then. Maybe. We'll have to see. Oh, you're aggressive this time round. Okay. Last time we came, they were just the regular spirit photo. We've got one down. That should do it. Honestly, I still don't know if you're meant to be able to do that with all of the ghosts, if you're quick enough. Because normally that's what you do on the main ones. You get a cutscene and you also get sort of 500 points towards upgrading the camera. But if you're quick enough with a regular ghost, you can still touch them, not get a cutscene, but get the points.
Soon the pillar will fail. The black water will overflow once more. I shall serve as a fly.
The old lady's back. Told you before, I don't want to go into the box. Another black diary. There are 2 boxes for Shrine Maidens. Those who would be pillars are placed in reliquaries. The pain of having their limbs crushed gives them strength. Those who can be stronger pillars are placed in caskets. Through the ghost marriage, pillars can last even longer. Caskets are made large enough to also accommodate the groom she is joined to. To protect the casket, guardians shall be submerged around it. Another journal left in the same place. Another Shrine Maiden goes to the Shrine of the Ephemeral to become a pillar. Blackwater is restless. During the witching hour, the mountain lets out a shriek. The funeral celebrant laments the great pillar will soon succumb. The wedding celebrant is hurriedly making votives. The ghost marriages have begun. Maidens cannot be joined while in the mortal world. Only pillars can enter into ghost marriages. Perhaps this ghost marriage is meant to console maidens alone in their caskets. Since surviving that flood, I've thought I would live alone and that I would die alone. Perhaps here on Mount Akami that can be changed. Oh, and we're back to the beach. Streamlabs really does not like the cutscenes. It always seems to have trouble encoding them for some reason.
No! I won't let you do it!
Yeah, Yuri's woken up.
Don't you leave me too.
Oh, now are we going to be able to attack this time? Or do we need to run again? That's too powerful. Even the camera does nothing. We have to run. Okay. At least the game told us this time that it's run time. Is there a specific place we're running to? It doesn't say. We've never gone down this bit before, so I'm assuming that we might have to run down this way. Oh, okay, so it's just another connection, so... So as long as we don't get caught by her, I think we're fine. How did you get here that quickly? Yuri's cheating. She's using teleportation magic. Right, time to escape. Will the train be functioning? Will there be a ghost on it?
Come on. Let's go back. Okay. Thank you.
I have a feel.
I can see them too, you know. Maybe even better than you. Does it scare you, seeing things that others can't? I'm not afraid. I have nothing to lose, so there's nothing to be scared of. I know you're scared too. Scared of being alone.
As Yuri waded into the mist over the Lake of the Departed, she was stopped by Miu. Distance between the girls seemed to narrow. Losing their parents at a young age and being able to see into the souls of others, the girls have more in common than they first realized. Yuri still hasn't found Hisoka, while Miu still searches for her mother Miku. The eerie dark figure that appeared at the lake may just hold the answers. But why does she keep calling out to Yuri? And that's another one done. That just leaves us 3 more to go, which I think is a good stopping point for tonight, to be honest. We've managed to complete that just before midnight. And it leaves us 3 more episodes to go until the end, when we find out what's going on. Hopefully get rid of the maiden, fix the mountain, get rid of the curse, and all the other fun things that come with being a protagonist in a spooky horror game. Or everyone dies, as is the way of a spooky horror game. One or the other. Yeah, so far I think we've done pretty well on that one. There are 3 relatively short chapters. Went faster than I expected. Let's see, is there anyone still alive? Oh! Finn and Sheep are still on Yakuza. That's good. Can send you their way. Yeah, thank you for that raid earlier, Marla. I was not expecting it. And also it reminds me that since I never see you actually streaming, reminds me that I don't want to ban or purge or anything like that. I just want to copy the name. Ah, okay, I'm gonna cheat the system here. Shout out. I'll shout out and do the follow from there. Have I got that right? Wondering. There we go. Now I can sneakily take the link from there and follow you. Well, yeah, thank you for that raid earlier. Wasn't expecting it. It was nice to have some extra people in. So now that that's over, and I can stop rambling, I will send you on the merry way to Fin Fei, the lovely little elf boy with Sheepa in tow. They're playing through all of the Yakuza games, and as far as I know, they're trying to 100% all of them in a row. So, let's wish them luck. So I'll send you on the way. Say hello for me. I'll be there as well. And we can surprise them. But again, thanks for watching. Take care. And I'll see you again tomorrow, probably. Bye-bye.